Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hey, what is up, trainers? PoGo Joel here, coming at you with a PvP update video. So this is going to be important for players who are into the PvP scene and for players that are going to be participating in the new Team Rocket battles that are in Pokemon Go. If you're here just for the Team Rocket stuff, I'll leave a timestamp here so you can skip over to that, but you will need to learn about these charge moves to help you in those battles. In the most recent update of the game, we have new charge move mechanics. This is going to be for all of those people that said PvP is just tapping. It's not senseless tapping. Now there's a mini game that you will have to master in order to provide different levels of attacks. There's going to be nice, great, and excellent. The 3 levels of attack and damage you put. That's going to determine how much energy you use. So if you're just going to be PvPing, these are going to be skills you want to master. If you're just going to be learning this stuff for Team Rocket Invasion or Team Rocket battles, go ahead and just kind of get a general idea so you can at least put up a fight in battle. And maybe we can get you into PvP. But stick around till the end. If you find anything helpful, please drop a like, subscribe. I worked really hard on this video, so hopefully it all works out for us. Alrighty, trainers, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Up first, we have the bug charge moves. And if you look here, you will notice that the moves come in from left to right. I use a swiping up and down gesture, or you could even do a circle there, oval right in the middle, or closer to the left, whatever works for you. This one's fairly easy. It just moves from left to right. Not too much going on here. And then just so you know, all of the charge moves, regardless of how many bars there are, whether it's a 2-bar charge move, a 1-bar charge move like X-Scissor, or a 1-bar charge move like Mega Horn, they're all going to be the same animations for that type of Pokemon. Next we have the dark charge moves. So it's pretty much a circular shape that you can swipe around, and it comes top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left. You don't have to remember that, you just have to swipe in a circle. It's pretty easy. If you see here, we do hit quite a few excellence. But yeah, all I'm doing is small circles, a little bit in the middle, and if you want you can do bigger circles, whatever works for you. Again, we did crunch, and we also tried out the 2-bar charge move here, Dark Pulse. Next we have dragon charge moves, which come from the top left to the bottom right of the screen. So for my little technique, I do a little circular swiping gesture a little bit closer to the top left middle of the screen. You'll see a bunch of examples here. But yeah, there's different ways you can do this. You can do the circles, you can do the little swiping technique that I'm doing, whatever you prefer. But this one's not too difficult. They come in little spurs of 5 from left to right, top left to bottom right. So pretty straightforward. We did try it with Twister and Dragon Pulse. Next we have the electric charge moves, which come from the top down from a storm cloud, and they kind of zigzag from right to left, left to right. My little trick is I do the circle or side swipes on the top section of right where they're falling. If you do a little circular motion, you'll catch most of them, and the ones that you do miss, you can actually swing back and catch them on the bottom. So that's my little technique there. Definitely a pretty easy one as well. Next we have the Ferry charge moves, which basically is a circle. As you'll see here, it's just a circle that moves left to right or counterclockwise. Pretty straightforward. You just have to go a little bit bigger. Up next we have the fighting charge moves, which are a bunch of little sporadic circles inside a general area here. So for me, this one is one of the most difficult. I still need to get a lot more practice with this one. But my technique was using a bunch of little circles inside of the big main general circle area. So I'm calling that the strike zone. But if you keep that inside your strike zone, inside that general area, you should be able to hit a bunch of these, do small circular motions. They're very sporadic, small circles, general area. Up next we have fire charge moves, which is a flame moving upwards on your screen. It's generally in a circular area here in the middle. All you have to do is side swipe or circle swipe here in the center, and you're golden. They do come up from the bottom. They're fairly easy to capture all, and nothing too crazy. Even if one does get past you, it's easy to move slightly up to get that one. But yeah, small circular motions in the middle will get you most of what you need. Up next, we have the flying charge moves, which move on your screen left to right in a sort of wave. Not a difficult one either. I like to use up and down circular motions closer to the right of the screen where they spawn. That allows me to try to get as many as I can very early on. And if you do the circular motion, anything that does get past you, you can easily capture it. Next, we have the ghost charge moves, which move from top, down. So it starts at the beginning on the top, moves down to the bottom left, then it goes back up, and then it goes down to the right, and then back up. So you don't have to remember that pattern, just know that it's 2 on top, 3 on bottom, 2 on top, 3 on bottom. And if you don't even want to remember that, up and down, and I just use circular motions to go in and out of there. Pretty easy, it's just how they bubble and boil up. Something to pay attention to, but very easy one as well. Up next, we have the grass charge moves, moving from left to right on your screen. I use circular motions or up and down swipes a little closer to the left of my screen, right where they spawn, so I can capture those. This is another easy breezy one. It's just literally petals flying in the wind, and you can definitely easily capture those. So up and down swipe or circular motions, whatever does work best for you. Eventually you're gonna find out what works best for you, but yeah, for me it's up and down swipes, but I can easily turn those into circular motions just in case I do miss anything. You can capture them. Up next, we have the ground charge moves, which come from the bottom to the top. So from down up it comes in, and I use swiping, side to side swiping, to try to get all of them, and I try to stick closer to the bottom where I know they're spawning from. You can easily turn that into a circular motion just in case anything does sneak past you. You have a chance to catch it up, but just side swiping works best for me. Next, we have the ice charge moves, which come from the top to the bottom. They come from a snow cloud here. So they do act very similar to our electric type moves from the cloud, but this time they're a little more, slightly more like lopsided, I guess. My technique, I just use side swipes from the top right where they're falling. You could also use circular motions there, but my technique seems to be working just fine here for me. And again, you will have to find what works for you, but definitely side to side. Up next, we have the normal charge moves, which come in clusters of 5 and 7 different spots. So as you'll see here, not too difficult once you figure out where they're coming from. It kind of makes like an H if you look at it, but generally it's top right, bottom, middle, bottom left, top left, and then it just goes right back to that same pattern. So you don't need to memorize the pattern. If you do, awesome for you. If not, small circular motions to catch those little bursts of 5 normal energy there will do it for you. Little circles in that spot. Up next, we have the poison charge moves, which come from the bottom up. It's just a bunch of poison energies bubbling up. My technique for this is circular motions, left to right, and a little bit oval sometimes if they get a little bit past me. That's what I've been doing. Side swipes, which should also work for this if you just make them a little bit higher. Double, toil and trouble. Yeah, these poison energies are just spawning straight up from the ground. They're bubbling up, so having that circular motion will help you get all of them. Up next, we have the psychic charge moves, which is basically counterclockwise. You see it coming in, and if you get good at this, you can do circular motions, or if you're as good as Valor Ash, link up here in the video, you can hit all of these perfectly by going a little bit slow and following them along. I was able to hit them like this on my first day trying these out, so definitely a counterclockwise motion. Up next, we have our rock charge moves, which come in from the top left corner to the bottom right of your screen. So very similar to our dragon charge moves. This one is going to be straight lines of 4. So my technique is side swiping in a little angle, or the circular motions. I did try them both out. Circular motions tend to work out a little bit better on this one for my personal opinion, but yeah, I would do circular motions just in case anything did sneak past me. That circle back would end up catching it. Next we have steel charge moves. So these come in pretty much like an X across your screen. It starts off from right to left and then left to right. So what's very helpful is, I don't know if you've noticed this throughout the video, but whenever these charge moves come in, the game tries to help you out on where to go. So you see the big flash of blue across your screen. Both times the X pops out, that is going to indicate where the spot is going to be landing, and you don't have to take your finger off of it. I use the X motion. Next we have water charge moves, the last typing, coming in from the top right of your screen, cascading down to the bottom left of your screen. My technique for this is a up and down swipe closer to the top right where they spawn. I try to catch as many as I can. You can turn that into a circular motion if you like, just in case anything does sneak past by you, but that small up and down swipe for me tends to be working out really well. So not too difficult here. If you're able to catch all of them on the top right, you should be set.
Hey!
So Team Rocket is now in the game. You can battle them in Pokemon Go. They are going to be appearing in Pokestops, and the way you can tell a Pokestop is a Team Rocket Pokestop is it's glitchy. You'll see even before I arrive, it's bugging out and spinning. You get in range of that Pokestop, a Team Rocket grunt will appear, and once you spin, Team Rocket grunt will appear. Your team leader pops up to warn you about Team Rocket, since it's their first time ever appearing in the game. It's the first time you're ever seeing them in Pokemon Go. And they give you a quick rundown. Team Rocket is stealing precious items from Pokestops, which can go to other trainers. So be the hero, you can battle them or you can run away. This is where our new PvP update that we just went over is going to come in handy for you when you go up against them in PvP. We're going up against the grunt here. Whatever Pokemon they use in the battle is a potential Pokemon that will be left behind by them if you defeat them, that you can capture and add to your team. And these are shadow Pokemon, so they're kind of you need to purify them. They're a little darkened by this, but here we go, getting into the PvP part of it. She comes out with Blastoise. It's ridiculously strong, and Blastoise is a tanky Pokemon. Luckily, we are practicing those PvP charge moves. We're going to go in with Ivysaur. We know that'll do damage because it's a water type. And here we go with the new mechanic. We got a great there, so we missed one or two. So we pull off the win there, and then the grunt appears. What if the boss hears about this? Does that mean Giovanni is in the game? Who knows? Who knows? That might be pretty awesome. We do get a Team Rocket medal, which I'll go over here shortly, and then it does give you rewards from the battle. Let's see here. So when you defeat Team Rocket, they abandon a Pokemon. It's a shadow Pokemon that you need to purify. So it has this ominous aura around it. If you capture it, it'll be on your team. If you purify it, it will become stronger, and it pretty much becomes kind of a lucky Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon that you purify will cost less candy to evolve and less dust to power up. So almost similar to a lucky Pokemon. And then purified Pokemon will also learn a normal type attack move called Return, which is alright if you're a normal type Pokemon, but if you're not normal, then it's okay, I guess. So to purify this Squirtle, it's going to cost me 2,000 Stardust and 2 Squirtle Candy, which is fine. I'm not going to do that right now, though. If you're done with the Pokestop, it'll turn back into a regular Pokestop. If you find this helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, and until next time, trainers, battle on! Prepare for trouble. Make it double.
Quit imitating us.
Team Rocket is not something to be made fun of, but if you're going to imitate us, at least do it right.